Hey everyone, it is Tuesday check-in, and I have a lot to tell you about. First off, it is Holy Week, and I wanted to share something that I hope is encouraging to you during this week. So, in our Discovery Club stories the last couple of weeks, we learned about Moses in the tent of meeting, and how Moses, when he met with God, he'd come out and his face would shine, reflecting the holiness of God. And it reminded me as I was reading the Gospels portrayals of Holy Week recently about Jesus' life. And the last week of his earth, he took three of his closest friends up on a mountain in what we call the Transfiguration. And so Peter, James, and John go with him, and they meet Moses and Elijah on this mountain. So it says this in Matthew 17, 1-8. After 6 days, Jesus took with him Peter, James, and John, the brother of James, and led them up on a high mountain by themselves. There he was transfigured before them. His face shone like the sun, and his clothes became as white as the light. Just then there appeared before them Moses and Elijah talking with Jesus. Peter said to Jesus, "Lord, it is good for us to be here. If you wish, I will put up 3 shelters, one for you, one for Moses, and one for Elijah." While he was still speaking, a bright cloud covered them, and a voice from the cloud said, "This is my son, whom I love. With him I am well pleased. Listen to him." When the disciples heard this, they fell face down to the ground, terrified. But Jesus came and touched them. "Get up," he said. "Don't be afraid." When they looked up, they saw no one except Jesus. So just like Moses, Jesus, we see his face shining, his robe bright and white. But this time, what's different is Moses was reflecting the holiness and the presence of God. In this case, Jesus is showing them he is the presence of God. And he continues to be that presence of God in our lives today. No doubt this incident didn't take away from the fear and the grief that Peter and James and John felt when Jesus went to the cross up until the time of his resurrection, but it gave them a glimpse of who he was and what kind of power he had, that his resurrection from the dead was to come. So in the middle of the fear and the grief that you may be feeling during this pandemic, just know that he is still the one with power over life and death, and still the one that gives us reason to hope. So I hope that's helpful for you this week. I invite you to go back and read more about the Transfiguration and about what's happening during the week, this last week of Jesus' life on earth. Okay, I want to share with you a little mission update about what we're doing here at First Baptist in our community and for our people. First, our parking lot pantry, which has been just an amazing ministry in our community, is still going strong. And I want to say thanks to anybody who's been coming and donating to that. We see people coming all the time, some to take food that they need, which is wonderful, and some that come and unload food in our pantry. And you can certainly do that. You can either go directly to the pantry and unload food there for others, or if it's too full or you don't want to do that, you can come and let me know, and we can put that here in the church, and I'll just continue to restock it as that need arises. But remember, this is for anyone who feels they have need can come and take food from our pantry. No questions asked, no requirements. So if you feel like you have that need, come and get something for you. Also, our tablet library is in full swing, and I'm delivering tablets to people who don't have technology available to worship with us online. So we just load up these tablets with the files, the videos that we've made each week, and I deliver them, and gives some of our folks that don't have internet or computers or whatever, gives them a chance to join with us in worship, even though it might be a little bit behind. It's an opportunity to continue to worship when we're all stuck at home. So we're excited for that, and that continues to be happening for our people as well. We're also still delivering school lunches to families that can't get out to pick up their kids. And luckily, that's not a lot of families. And I say luckily because that means most families are able to go and pick up the food that they need from our schools. And our district is doing just a great job of getting those lunches out. But they're contacting me whenever a family is unable to do that, and we are delivering those. And again, just want to share with you the ministries God is putting in our lap as an opportunity to serve. Also, a new one this week, thanks to our Helping Hands ministry. Several women of the church are sewing masks that they're giving to healthcare workers as well as those in our church family that need a mask. Right now, the CDC is not mandating, but is encouraging people to wear a mask when they go out in public because it might help us keep from transmitting this virus to each other. So if you have need for one, get in touch with me and I will get them connected. Also, if you're somebody who can sew, and I can sew a button on, or I can sew up a seam by hand, but I'm not somebody that knows how to use a sewing machine very well. I'm pretty sure the last time I did, I was in 8th grade, and I made my famous chef stud apron. That's right. Anyway, if you're able to sew, we would love to get you connected with that as well. So get in touch with me. I'll get you the information you need to start sewing and making some of these masks as well. Okay, so another ministry update. So that's some of our mission we're doing in the community. Some of our ministries that we're continuing, I want to remind you about. First off, Jason Porter, our youth pastor, is continuing to meet both with his small group that meets on Monday nights at 7 o'clock, and also our youth group that meets Thursday night at 7 o'clock. And both of those are through Zoom meetings. And we'll share that information through our Facebook page and other methods so that if you would like to be a part of that, you can do that as well. So our youth are meeting together via Zoom. We would love to have all of our teenagers from 7th to 12th grade jump in and be a part of that. And we will be doing that this week as well. We're also doing our Tuesday check-ins just like this. We're also doing Discovery Club stories every Wednesday online. And so again, kind of pay attention, subscribe to our YouTube channel, to our Facebook page, and you'll get all those updates as they come in. For this week, it's Holy Week, and unfortunately, we have no Easter extravaganza this Saturday that we had planned to celebrate with our kids. But you can still enjoy some resurrection rolls. And so I want to invite you to go to our Facebook page or our YouTube channel, and there you can watch the Stoops Bros Bakery teach you how to make resurrection rolls. And they're a great way to tell the story of Jesus and the resurrection, and also they're amazing, and they're a great treat for you. So go to those channels and watch those, share them, let other people share them as well, so that people can learn the story of Easter as well as learning how to make these great things. It's something that I know you'll enjoy this week. I want to say thanks to my oldest son, Carson Stoops, for producing that video. And then some other important Holy Week information. So make sure you're paying attention now. Thursday, 6 o'clock, is our Maundy Thursday service. And so get your family around a table and hop on, again, our YouTube channel, our Facebook page, and join us as we remember the Last Supper that Jesus had with his disciples. But there are a few items you're going to need, and I'll make sure and put these in the notes below as well. You need to have with you, for the Maundy Thursday service, something to eat and something to drink. It could be bread and juice. It could be whatever else you want to eat and drink. But we're going to have communion together. And so we want you to have something to eat and drink for everybody at the table. So make sure you have that prepared. Also, if you have it, some hand sanitizer. Bring that. I know it's kind of hard to come by, but if you have it, have hand sanitizer at your table as well. If you don't have hand sanitizer or you don't want to use that, the other option would be to have a basin with some water and some soap. You'll learn why we need that at the time, but make sure you have that ready at the table. Also, you need some thorns, and I realize not everybody may have those. I'm going to use this crown of thorns that I have that I use really every year for Maundy Thursday. But you may have the opportunity to go out into the yard and find a rose bush or something else that has thorns on it. If not, something sharp. And, one option is even to find a pencil, that you've got lying around that's got a sharp point, and just to have something that we're going to use to represent those thorns that we know were put on Jesus' head. So something sharp like a pencil or like some thorns. And then finally, some nails. And if you have any kind of nails lying around the house, that would be great. If you don't have nails, maybe you have screws. Anything that has a point to the end, metal and pointy, you can have with you. So try and gather those things up as much as you can as you get ready for Maundy, Thursday.
Someone's at front door.
Apparently someone's at the front door. That's our Maundy, Thursday service, Thursday at 6 o'clock. And then on Friday at 6 o'clock, we'll be again having a Good Friday service. We'll share in a solemn time of mourning for the death of Jesus. So we'll remember moments of his life and ministry. And so again, jump on our YouTube channel or our Facebook page to join us for Good Friday. And then of course, Sunday morning. I know it's not ideal that Easter morning we don't get to be together. But nonetheless, it's a day to celebrate. And so we will be having online worship again this week. We hope that you'll join us for that. And we will celebrate living with Jesus in victory over death, because that's really what the resurrection is about. And so join us on Sunday morning. Those videos will premiere at 8 a.m. and will be available after that anytime. I want to say thanks so much for continuing to be the church during this time. I've started using this hashtag, Open Church Closed Building. And I want to invite you to do the same thing. If you are doing anything to help out, to live out your relationship with Christ during this pandemic, and you're sharing any of that, whether it's photos or posts or videos or whatever you're doing as you live out your faith in Christ during this time, use that hashtag so that we can kind of connect those together. Open Church Closed Building, because our building's not being used right now, but our church is awake and alive and at work as the body of Christ. So want to say love you all, and don't forget to stay home and stay healthy, and we'll see you soon.